Most people think they get paid for how hard they work. But they do not. They get paid based on how hard it is to keep things running without them. That's the real price of being easy to replace. You earn less, you've got less leverage, and over time you end up with less control over your life. So in this video, we're looking at why that happens and how to build a life that is much harder to copy. Welcome to Alux. All right, we're starting our discussion today with a contrarian truth. The world pays more for friction than effort. Most people are taught a simple rule early in life. Work hard, be reliable, do your job well, and things will improve. But work is usually judged by a colder rule. A lot of roles are valued by how much trouble starts when that person is gone. That is the real frame here. Ask a simple question. If you disappeared from your role tomorrow, what would happen? Would the work keep on moving with only a short delay? Would somebody else take over without much confusion? Would the system adjust and carry on like normal? If that's what happens, well, the role is easy to replace. If not, then your absence creates friction. Friction is the slowdown left behind when work is no longer moving smoothly. Things pile up, small mistakes spread, people lose time, deadlines slip. Extra stress shows up for everyone around that gap. And that gap has value. This is why effort alone doesn't decide much. A person can care deeply, stay late, and do everything asked of them, but still sit in a weak position if the work is easy to hand off. If the job is common, easy to teach, or already understood by many others, then the system doesn't lose much when that person leaves. And that is where the hidden cost starts. If your absence creates very little trouble, your pay is easier to hold down. Your role is easier to pressure, your leverage stays weak. You get less room to negotiate, less protection, and fewer options. People in stronger positions usually create more friction when they leave. The work becomes harder to manage, important details get lost. Progress slows down. The system feels the gap right away, and that's why they're treated differently. The real price of being easy to replace isn't only a lower income, it changes how secure your life feels. It changes how much freedom you have. It changes how seriously people take your position. And the longer you stay in a role that leaves no real gap behind, the more expensive that becomes. Most people are taught how to become useful. They show up on time, how to follow instructions, be dependable, learn the job, don't cause problems, be easy to manage, be good enough at many small things, stay professional, stay available. That path can help you survive. It can help you to get hired. It can help you keep a job. But it doesn't do much to protect your position, and that is a problem. A useful person helps the system run. A defensible person is harder for the system to swap out. Most people spend years becoming useful in a general way. They answer emails, join meetings, organize tasks, handle requests, solve small problems, and keep things moving. None of that is bad. In fact, a lot of workplaces need people like that. But if the value you bring is broad, familiar, and easy to train, then you're standing in the busiest part of the market. That's where people get stuck. They become good workers, but not hard workers to replace. And there's a big difference between those two things. A lot of normal career advice pushes people in the wrong direction. It tells them to be flexible, to say yes, help everywhere, and become a reliable pair of hands. That sounds smart. It sounds mature. But over time, it can turn you into a person who does many useful things and owns none of them. You become a part of the flow, not a point of resistance inside of it. And that means when pressure comes, your role is easier to shrink, merge, or hand off to someone else. The work might still matter, but your place inside of it doesn't feel locked in. This is how people become replaceable without noticing. They build a life around being employable, not around being difficult to substitute. Those are not the same thing. Being employable means someone will probably hire you. But being hard to substitute means losing you creates a problem they do not want to deal with. Most people stop at the first one. They collect normal skills, get normal experience, and become solid in ways that look respectable from the outside. But if those skills are common and that experience looks like 100 other resumes, then there's no strong reason for the market to give them unusual pay, unusual trust, or unusual freedom. This is why being good at your job often stops being enough after a certain point. If the job can be learned quickly, handed off easily, or spread across other people without much damage, then doing it well still leaves you in a weak spot. You're useful, but not defended. A lot of people are building working lives that function but don't actually protect them. Lives that look stable but have no real thickness to them. Lives that depend on being liked, available, and competent while offering very little that is hard to copy. And that kind of life can hold together for years. But when pressure hits, it shows how thin it really was. Because the market is full of useful people. It pays much more for the ones it cannot easily replace. So if effort is not enough, and being generally useful is not enough, then what actually makes someone hard to replace? Well, usually it comes down to 3 things: scarcity, context, and trust. Now, scarcity means you know how to do something that is not easy to find. And that doesn't always mean genius-level talent. No, sometimes it just means you got very good at something that most people never stuck with long enough to learn. Sometimes it means you have a rare mix of skills that don't often come together in a single person. The market notices that. If fewer people can do what you do, well, replacing you gets a lot harder. And if you want to double down on traits that make you harder to replace, get yourself a membership to the Alux app, the place where future billionaires come together to get there faster. You can download it for free, but as a bonus, you'll get 25% off your annual membership if you scan this QR code after you do. Now, when it comes to being hard to swap out, context is just as important as scarcity. Context means knowing how things really work in a specific place, with specific people, under specific conditions. This kind of knowledge is hard to see from the outside, but it matters all the time. It's in knowing where the problems usually start, what details tend to get missed, who needs what the timing looks like, and how to move things forward without creating extra chaos. A new person can learn the job on paper, but context is the part they usually don't have. Then there's trust. Trust is what turns a skill into real leverage. Plenty of people might know how to do the work, but fewer are trusted to do it without being watched, checked, reminded, or cleaned up after. Trust takes time. It builds when people know you can handle things properly, make good calls, and keep the work moving without drama. Once that trust is there, removing you becomes a lot more expensive, because replacing skill is one problem, but replacing confidence and trust is a whole other one. This is why some people become much more valuable over time, even when their work doesn't look flashy from the outside. They build depth. They become the person who already knows the system, already knows the people, and already has the trust to act without friction. And that is a strong position. And this is also why being hard to replace is often less about brilliance and more about becoming specific. Specific skill, specific knowledge, specific trust. Once your value lives in that kind of combination, your role becomes thicker, harder to copy, harder to hand off, harder to rebuild quickly. A lot of people never get there because they stay too general for too long. They know a little bit about many things, but nothing sits deep enough to create real leverage. They're helpful, but not anchored. Useful, but still easy to swap. The people who move into stronger positions usually stop thinking like that. They build something the market cannot easily grab from 100 other places. Over time, that changes how they're treated, how much room they have, and how much control they gain over their future. And this applies to everyone. Because you see, the cost of being replaceable, it gets worse over time. Being easy to replace doesn't only hurt you in the moment, it changes the shape of your whole life. At first, the cost might seem small. Maybe your pay grows slowly. Maybe people don't take your time that seriously. Maybe you've got to prove yourself again and again. Maybe you feel like you cannot ask for much because there's always somebody else who could do a version of what you do. When your role is easy to swap out, your leverage stays weak. You've got less room to negotiate, less room to say no, less room to push back. You're more likely to accept low pay, bad timing, poor treatment, and crappy conditions simply because your position doesn't give you many options. And ultimately, it changes how you think. You become more careful, more dependent, more willing to tolerate things you don't like. You stop aiming for the best outcome and start aiming to avoid loss. And it starts to affect your confidence. It changes how you make decisions. It changes how much risk you can take. It changes whether you leave a bad environment, ask for better terms, or make a move without feeling like everything might fall apart. Meanwhile, people who are hard to replace live under a very different set of rules. They usually have more patience from others, more freedom to make mistakes, more say in how work gets done, more power to ask for better terms, more access to better opportunities. That's the real danger of being easy to replace. It creates a smaller life, a life where too many decisions are made from weakness, not choice, a life where you depend too much on being liked, approved of, or kept around. And the longer that goes on, the harder it becomes to break out of it. So if you find yourself in this position, how do you get out? You build a life that is hard to copy. Most people compete on effort because effort feels clear. Work harder, stay longer, be more available, do more. The problem is that effort is easy to compare, easy to ask for, and easy to replace. There will always be someone else willing to work just as hard as you. A stronger path is to become more specific. Learn skills that take time to build. Get close to work that affects money, decisions, relationships, or trust. Build knowledge that doesn't live in a manual. Become known for solving problems well. Stack skills that don't often come together in one person. Make your name mean something clear. That is how people become harder to remove. You don't need to be extraordinary in some dramatic way. No, you don't need to become famous. You don't need a genius-level gift. You need depth, clarity, and position. You need something about the way you work, what you know, and how people rely on you that can't be replaced quickly. And that takes time. But it is worth it, because once your value becomes more specific, your whole life starts to change. You stop being just another person who can do the job, and you become someone whose absence creates a real problem. People trust you more, they listen more carefully, they give you more room, and they think twice before losing you. So, if there's one lesson in this video, it is this. Do not spend your life trying to become slightly better at what everyone else can already do. Spend it building a role, a skill set, and reputation that would genuinely be annoying to replace. That is where your value rises. And that is where your life starts to open up. Alrighty, Luxer, that's a wrap for today. We'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care.